Greetings, my friends. I'm Andrea, and I welcome you to one of the first explorations of the longer term transits this year, and maybe one of the biggest events, which is the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. You might be aware of this. It occurs in April, and the ones who purchased the product about the crypto forecast for the large caps are aware that April will be a big month for Bitcoin, and we look forward to it, of course. And I want to really dive into that and to explore this further so that you know. The behind, strategy of this is to identify altcoins who are able to catch the big trend, so to speak. Because when Bitcoin goes up, we know usually that the whole market goes up, and we have the halving. So it's another reason on top to really explore opportunities where even more growth than in the case of Bitcoin would be possible, as we know for the assets that are currently priced in a very affordable way, like a few cents or sections of these. I would like to talk about the history of this conjunction so that we put it macro, the big picture. Then I will go into what it means for Bitcoin and for Ethereum as well, and what it means for you in the end, because this conjunction will be in one part of your horoscope, which means that it will have an effect in your life, and it could be one that is very positive, and then you can look forward for a lot of events for April, of course, and this will depend on your natal horoscope, so this is very important. And finally, I would like to talk about the product that I would like to offer for the ones interested in exploring opportunities in the first part of the year. It's about the first half, actually, until May. This is the period of time that I currently cover. And now let's dive into detail. We have Uranus and Jupiter conjunction, but this has to be linked to the period where we had Uranus and Jupiter retrograde. And this happened in the last part of 2023, both of them being retrograde at the same time. Why is this important? Because they are the main drivers for growth in the market in general. And if they aspect certain assets in a positive way, then they would produce growth. These two planets present also in human life opportunities, optimism, and sudden surges, sudden inspiration as part of a quantum jump and a sudden download of information out of the blue, like a genius spark. So people who have this in certain places in the horoscope can really experience this. Maybe they already experienced it psychologically in the retrograde period. And Uranus is still retrograde. It will be retrograde until January 27th, 2024, but Jupiter is already direct. From a human perspective, we do have Jupiter and Uranus that are both representations of the mind of God. So basically, it's beyond the mundane, normal, day-to-day intelligence that is ruled by Mercury, as you might be aware. It's about Jupiter, the angelic realm, if you really believe in such creatures, it could be Pitraloka, it could be angels from, the departed ones. And Uranus is seen as really divine inspiration. So this is also known as the higher octave of Mercury, and this will come like unexpected, erratic, sudden. We are surprised usually when we catch inspiration from Uranus. And especially when both are together, this is really growth on steroids. And we will see some of it in the financial markets. We saw something before, and the peak will happen when these are together, which will happen in April 2024. It would be on April 20th, 21st, depending where you live in the world. Basically, it's the last part of April that we need to be aware. So look at this beautiful AI-generated image with sparks of inspiration around the conjunction, and it's really something that people can look forward to if they have a certain part activated for this conjunction from their horoscope. So let's look where the surprise can come, because Uranus is usually, the planet with the motto expect the unexpected, and it's also one of the most difficult planets to predict by astrologers. Now, you would have really action in the area where the conjunction takes place. So this is the tropical Taurus and the sidereal Aries in the last degrees. We will see that, and you have also influence of this in the parts that are ruled by Jupiter and Uranus in the horoscope, and these are the signs of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, and the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces, both of them are ruled by Jupiter. So everybody will have these signs, so Aquarius, Sagittarius and Pisces somewhere, in some house, which is actually the domain of life, which is ruled by these planets. Now, in order to find out, of course, it's important to know your ascendant. The chart can be read also from your sun and moon, but if you know your time of birth, then you will have the most accurate analysis. So I want to remind you that we do have a 10% discount for Patreon Silver tier members and a 20% off for the Patreon Gold tier members. In case you are interested in such a consultation, you can really check the links provided in the video description below, and I will also link at the end of the video a link with all the products that are listed on my website, providing more information if you are interested to explore this. So in regards to your personal consultation here, because you could also have a lot of success in finance, for example, you can book a 1-hour consultation with me or a 30-minute consultation. And basically, this is an opportunity for you to understand what happens, because it's quite a unique transit, and we will dive into it now. And it's, in my opinion, better to be informed if you are interested in this topic. Now, this opportunity is pretty unique in the life of a human in general, because roughly the whole cycle of Uranus across the zodiac is 84 years. Jupiter is 12 years, because we talk also when they really join, which doesn't happen too often, as you will see. And not too many humans really cross a lot beyond 84. So it's also a question of life expectancy, but also a question of the age when you do have this opportunity, this conjunction. If you are 5 years old, maybe nothing much will happen, for example, unless you have good results in school, but it won't be a life-changing opportunity like you have it in the adult life in most of the cases. So we talk about the tropical Taurus where the conjunction takes place, and I want to tell you that last time it happened in Taurus was in the scary, I know it's scary, year 1941. And I think most of you are aware of, the World War II, which took place at that time. And it was really close to a star called Algol, which is an unlucky star causing violence, mass murder, and misfortunes, which really happened. And let's see how close it was. It was like around 20 minutes of an arc degree close, so pretty very, very close. And it happened on the date of 8th of May, 1941. And it happened in the tropical zodiac at 25 degrees and 38 minutes of Taurus when both were together. Now, April 21st, I did it for the UTC time zone, just to be aware. It's happening on 21 degrees and 49 minutes of tropical Taurus, which is pretty far away, I would say, from, around 4 degrees, 3-4 degrees away from the Algol, which is a very good news because it changes the whole perspective of the conjunction. Now, I want to tell you that the sidereal zodiac, for the ones which are more astrologically inclined, is really the one that is fixed, but it's not really 100% fixed, because even the star of Algol that you can see here, it's at 2 degrees 18 minutes. It used to be in 1940 at 2 degrees 19 minutes, because there is an era, and an astrology at world level as well, maybe beyond, Earth, I would say, maybe at universe level, I should say it, that would really go into eras of 2000 years. And the movement of the eras is backwards. So it's from Gemini, it would go into Taurus, and then it would go into Aries. So like Rahu and Ketu, so it has a sort of fate or a destiny flavor associated with it. So even the fixed star is not so fixed. We use here the sidereal Ayanamsha, Lahiri Ayanamsha, and you can see that in 1940 it was 2 degrees 19 minutes of Taurus. This is the sidereal Taurus, and now in 2020 it's like 2 degrees and 18 minutes. And you can see also the change in the degrees for the tropical, which is even, I would say, more significant, as you can see. So it's not really the same thing. Therefore, it's not really exact. The fact that we are able to grasp a part of the reality, that even the fixed stars are not so fixed. This is really showing that reality will not be grasped by astrologers 100%, but we are really happy to catch a bit of the mind of God. Now, I want to tell you that if you wonder already, what is with your chart, for example, if you know your ascendant, at least the tropical one, maybe I don't know, or at least the sun. If you do have really Taurus in the 2nd house, for example, or in the 11th house, which are financial houses, then you would be affected financially by this conjunction. And also the fifth and the eighth houses, if you do any trading, investment, speculation in general, you are affected as well, because these are also secondary financial houses. It's another type of wealth that we create with these actions, but it's still a conjunction that affects these areas. And if you have really important planets in your chart triggered in the tropical zodiac between 18 degrees 49 minutes of Taurus and 24 degrees 49 minutes of Taurus, then important developments are to be expected financially. And I gave basically 3 degrees before, 3 degrees after. The closer it is to the conjunction that you saw, it's 21 degrees 49 minutes of the tropical Taurus, the stronger it will manifest. And also it will manifest on the spot, or almost on the spot. At least it will happen in April. And the conjunction again is April 20th, 21st. And we really see a big movement there, because it's also the eclipse month. Into eclipses, I will dive with another occasion in another video. Now, of course, we ask ourselves about the financial markets and what happened in 1941. Okay, it was war, but did the stock market close? Actually, in some countries it didn't, even in Germany it didn't, and we had a peak in May of 1941, and then this was followed by a decline, because still Algol has a bad reputation. And if you want to see more about the S&P 500, the US stock market, but also the markets that were affected, about their history in Europe, you can look at this link, globalfinancialdata.com. And for example, here you can see this, no? So it was a sort of peak, and then it declined. And of course, as the war progressed and then it was peace, the stock market really took up. So it increased in US at least. And what can we do with this information? So of course, we look at the history, but again, it happens so rarely. You see, so from 1941 until now, so a lot of time is passed by. And we basically look at it in order to have always some inspiration. So now again, it's 3 degrees, roughly 4, away from Algol. So I would interpret the conjunction that we will have a peak and then we will have a decline, because Algol will be crossed. And when this happens, it will really cause a, final peak before the drop. And this means that it would be good to benefit from the increase, but then it's also good to exit as fast as possible. And yes, at an appropriate moment in time. Of course, this will depend on each financial asset. And of course, I will give more information in the products about this. Now, practically, what can we do today? So if we don't think about your chart and we think about financial assets, we think about the retrograde motion, which is always inspiring with any planet, but especially with these two, it is very inspiring. And I would like to dive into it a bit to explain you how I approached this research and what kind of offering I do have in a store for the ones interested to go into more detail. We mentioned the retrograde motion of both Jupiter and Uranus, which internalize, prepare, and give inspiration to analyze something in general. And it's like, imagine a clock. A clock would go only forward. We know that the time doesn't go back. But with planets, it's like the way we see the movement of the planets from the Earth. It's like an optical illusion to say that we see planets moving in one direction and then backwards, and then again direct, and then retrograde, and again direct, again retrograde. So this happens with planets on a regular basis, with some of them really super regular, like Mercury, and I think you are used to that. Venus is much less regular, and also with a sort of regularity, we do have the outer planets, and today we talk about Jupiter and Uranus. And Jupiter and Uranus were together moving direct at first, and then together they were moving retrograde. And this happened in the last part of 2023. And I put here the clock, like imagine the 2 pointers. One pointer, let's say it's Uranus, and the other one is Jupiter. And they would move forward, and then they would move backward. And what happened is that in the last part of 2023, let's say this portion, we had both of them going backward. Yeah. And now in 2024, so from 31st of December 2023, actually Jupiter started to go direct, while Uranus still goes retrograde until January 27th, 2024, when we can say that they will dance together again. But the thing is that they will cross the same degrees. So the degrees you can imagine like, the hours that are written on the clock. So when a certain hour is really crossed, then this is an aspect, and this has an effect on a financial asset, for better or worse. So we link especially Jupiter with growth and Uranus with sudden growth, erratic growth. Jupiter will most likely give a trend, and also Uranus gives trends, but they are more, erratic in nature. What is really a stable trend is usually Jupiter. And Jupiter can cause also a high increase, but the highest peaks are usually caused by Uranus. On top of that, we do have Rahu as well. As you know, this is also important, but in this video, I want to focus on these two, Uranus and Jupiter. And we focus on the positive aspects. So this means that these are the aspects that favor financial assets. And if they favored financial assets from 2023 in the last part, I think I started around mid-September. So it's mid-September I started to observe, and I tracked all the movements until the 31st of December, week by week. And I will give you a bit of introduction into that. And I really used the sidereal chart, because this also gives more information on the strengths in a way, because as you could see, the fixed stars are much easier to relate, on the sidereal, because of course sidereal is really linked to the stars and constellations. Now I want to walk you through the analysis, basically the skeleton of it, and this will give you a glance on what you would get if you purchase the product that goes into detail. So let's dive in. For each week that I observed between mid of September and the end of 2023, I considered three sections, the top 100 market cap, top 500, and all. And these are taken from CoinMarketCap, if you are aware of this, and Of course, for each category, they select the top 25 or so. And why is this important? It's important because there are opportunities, and as you know, the information that we need as astrologers would be really the birth date and time. And sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. We cannot download all the blockchains to find out the timestamp on the Genesis block, and sometimes it's missing. So it's quite difficult to really see exact, prediction. And even if we have it, it's never gonna be 100%, as we are not allowed to grasp 100% of reality. So to make the matters easier, I observed that I kept track of this, and this is something that is recorded in a file of around 80 pages, and this would be week by week, the last one being even the first week of January, where I analyzed a match with some week in 2023. We will talk about this in detail if you see the purchased product. There we will dive into it. Now, for each section, I simply tracked what CoinMarketCap would deliver. So the top around 25 for each category. And there you can see the volume, but also the percentage of increase. And I will show you a bit of it because anyway, it's about the past, and there are many other weeks that are for the future, and the ones that are interested can dive into them once you book the product. Also, planets do not give targets. We do have certain strengths of astrological aspects, but this doesn't always translate into, the increase that we think it should be reflected. So, for example, you might have an opposition which is very, very strong, so to speak. So it's not the strongest, but it's mid-strength in astrology. But still, the drop will not be, so significant because there are many reasons. We see major aspects in general, so not the minor aspects. We cannot really analyze everything in detail and dissect the chart 100%. So in this file, you would get a snapshot, and this is what you get. It's the top gainers as delivered by CoinMarketCap in the top 100 category, then the ones in top 500, and finally the ones in the all. You can see I did screenshots of it, therefore you have several images. This can be zoomed, for more clarity. So for example, you can put it 125% or even more. And I would like to go a bit into the targets here, and what can you expect, basically? You can expect for the top 100 the least growth, so to speak. They are more established, the market cap is larger, so the room for growth is not so big, but it's almost double. It will not be the same in all weeks. Then the top 500, you can see here there is more opportunity for growth. So it's like double, even more. I saw also 2x and 3x for some weeks. And then you can see for all, it's even, 31x. 27x. So these are very big numbers that we can expect, but yes, it's also difficult to get information about all of these. So because it's not only about the planets that are triggered, but also other points in the chart. And if you don't know the accurate birth time, it would be really not easy or impossible to really predict. So this way you see the growth. So it will be some growth for some coins. And then this action has a mirroring in the future based on the Uranus and Jupiter movement. And this is what you can see and compare between the past and the future, when the same degrees, the same triggers for growth will be activated, and it will be even stronger in the case of Uranus and Jupiter going direct. So first of all, we have in January until 27th, Uranus still retrograde, but Jupiter is direct. So you can see already, if you look at the month that is the week, actually, I will go to the end of this document so that you can see it. We tracked this, top 100, top 500 and all. And what happened is that this week, the first week of January, mirrored the week from 25th of December to 31st of December. And it's like the same top should be there more or less, because Uranus is still not mirrored, so to speak. So this will become more accurate in February, March, April and May. So these are the 4 months that are covered in this analysis, in the extensive one, if you book for it. And we do have here in this week from the 1st of January to 6th of January, the same degrees were crossed by Jupiter. And like in the last days of 2023, and Uranus, yes, it's still in another place. Therefore, it won't be 100% match. Maybe it will never be 100% match between the past and the future, but you can see a list of, very strong candidates, and you can look at the patterns, the week from the past and the week in the future, and see which ones represent, the strongest signs to really move upwards, so that you can benefit from it. And of course, it's still, some work from your side, but it's never okay to rely only on one source of information like the astrology, but always recommended to do the TA, and this will really help you spot patterns. So, for example, here we saw Lido, I remember that it was repeated, Bitcoin, of course, but it's not on the same place, so it won't be on the same place. So from top 500, I remember Tech2, I think, and also Akash Network. From all, it's like, I remember Felix, I think, yes, Felix, and I think there was another one that made into the top. And you can see here this, list that shows the growth that happened, mirrored, so to speak, in January. Why? So the last part in December is mirrored by the first part in January, because it's retrograde. So it was retrograde, and now it's direct for Jupiter, and Uranus again, this is not matched yet. And from these, either, Jupiter or Uranus will be activated for sure in the future. So you can see it also for Uranus in the future, not Uranus now, but Uranus in the future. And this means like March or April, and these months will be depicted in a calendar view of these, altcoins. I will take the top, so the top's free from each category, and I will show month by month what is possible in terms of growth, but also what we can really expect in terms of timing, because sometimes it's not really at day level, as you know, but it will be around that day. So having 1 week would really capture this. You might have observed injective as well, which grew, and some of them are not only for the week, but they are more long-term. So if you see also the months and the distribution of the weeks when the Jupiter and Uranus related aspect will be active, then you can also think about points of entry and exit that would really span several months, and then to really benefit from growth, because it can go only up, with this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. And let me see if I want to add something else now. I think that would be it. And it will really help you navigate the whole altcoin story, so to speak, because we all hope to catch, a good trend upwards for the right ones. And again, these are the ones really based on the history. So you have proof that they moved, and you know exactly the week in the future where they will move, or at least some of them, because we don't know it will be in the top 25 for each of them, but they will move for sure. And what you might really be interested in is also more details about, of course, the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now I would like to go into that a bit. Before I dive into the Bitcoin and Ethereum presentation, I would like to tell you that the discount of 10% off and respectively 20% off for gold tier members is active for this product as well, should you wish to book it. And this is valid throughout the year. I think it makes sense, of course, to catch it as fast as possible if you are interested. So just be aware of that. Thank you. If you looked at my previous videos, especially the Rahu in Pisces series in the sidereal zodiac, I will link this if you didn't see. You can look into that. This is the sidereal North Indian chart style for Bitcoin, and we have a Lagna or an ascendant in Cancer, and we do have a activation that happens in Aries in the last degrees. I think it's around 28 degrees of Aries, sidereal Aries, which happens in the 10th house. So roughly we can say that the chart is activated in its highest point, so at the zenith. It's a peak, and it will be in the news. So for sure, it will be some big news around Bitcoin at that time. It could be some evolution regarding the spot ETF or something else. We don't know exactly, but it will be strongly activated. Now, the conjunction happens in the sky, but as I said, so even for you, the chart is activated in some place. So the 10th house is very strong, and it indicates this public image that will be transformed, that it will be grown in a big way. And if there are even, positive aspects around the day, it is even more so that the increase will happen more prominently. And this is something you can see in the yearly forecast if you booked the product for it, or you had the chance to get it after 4 months of Patreon membership, either silver or gold tiers. The offer is still valid until the end of January, so go for it. In the product, we will dive a bit more into this and what this means. And for Ethereum, as you see, it's a Scorpio Lagna in a sidereal, and we do have activation of the chart at the same degree, which is around 28 degrees of the sidereal Aries, and this happens for Ethereum in the sixth house. So the sixth house is the house of service. It's also obstacles and delays, so it's not so strong like in the case of Bitcoin, to be honest, but it will nevertheless mean that the use cases, so the service that Ethereum has to the world, will be expanded, innovated upon in some way, but I don't think the evolution will be so fast. And we will dive a bit into it also in the yearly chart of Ethereum in the product as well. And if you had the chance to get this after 4 months of membership in gold, or you purchased the product, then look when the conjunction takes place in the sky, so you know already. And then you can look also what are the aspects in April for Ethereum in order to find out what the influence might be. Is it mixed? Is it, really upwards? So what happens at that time? Yes, so that would be from my side what I wanted to share with you. And besides the study, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the main drivers, and from my point of view, they are really macro for the crypto market at the moment, I will also recommend some altcoins beyond this, for which I do have a lot of clarity and accuracy, so to try to identify some jewels, some pearls for this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. But in general, it's a unique opportunity in the market, and I think the whole market would be driven up as a side effect, so to speak. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I hope I will see you in the detailed product presentation. And until next time, be joyful. I wish you all success to benefit from the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. Thank you.